All right, so take me back. 2008, first round, 16th pick, you get drafted. You get to Philly. Are you renting? Are you buying?
So my situation, yeah, it's my first time really been away from home. So being a young player, I'm definitely gonna rent because I'm not sure what my future gonna hold here. So I don't really want to buy none.
Be stuck.
And be stuck in the situation. So for me, yeah, my situation, I was renting. I bought my mom a house at home, so kind of like I didn't want to have two homes.
Okay. So when you get there, you get to Philly, who's like helping you get situated to find a spot to rent or the place to go? Is it the team? Is it your advisor, your agent? Who's kind of coordinating that? Because that's a brand new spot for you.
So usually when you get drafted or you get traded to the team have a person they reach out to in the community to show you different spots. Lindy, she was part of the team and they would show me different spots.
Okay.
And you pick, after that you just pick.
So you said your first actual real estate purchase was you bought your mom a house. How did that feel, being able to come from where you come from and do that for her?
Oh no, I felt good, man, because like you saying, like I came from the hood, so for me, buying in a house, that's like a dream come true.
Has she ever owned a house before? Did you ever own a house growing up?
No, I ain't having that. We was in Section 8.
Yeah.
So we was living in the hood. So when I got drafted, we were still staying in that house until February when I came home for All-Star break. When I came home for All-Star break, she was already moving into the other house. So for me, when I left to go to the season, we was in the hood still. So when I got home from All-Star break, I was like, oh man, this is a house right here. Like I was kind of like shocked because I'd never been in no house like that before.
So you bought it without even coming home to see it?
Nah, I ain't see it. She was just riding around seeing houses. She was like, Marreese, I want this one. So I was like, all right, we got it.
Yeah.
So that was a great feeling, man, to see, just to know, just to understand how life is and how different kind of houses, you know what I mean? It is like from a small 2-bedroom to a small 3-bedroom, 2-bath to a 5-bedroom, 4-bath. It's like crazy, man.
For sure.
What I mean? So it was a dream come true though.
How was that too? Because I mean, that's a big change though, to change so quickly from lifestyle. So being able to, now she owns a home and being able to manage that and all the responsibilities that come with it. I know a lot of times in that situation, you want to be able to help people and give back, but then also making sure they have the knowledge to keep it up and maintain it, and you're not just throwing it.
Oh yeah, and she's doing it. My mom and my family do a good job with taking care of that house. She do a good job doing it. Everything is, you know what I mean? It just comes with time. Like you don't have to get repairs. She know how to, she got the people to call and do it and all kind of stuff. So she do a great job keeping it up. Great job making it look good.
Okay, so you got your mom's a place. You rented when you first got to Philly. When was your first purchase for yourself?
My first house I purchased was 2013 in Oldsmar. It was here. Like I told you, I would never purchase a house in the city I'm playing in because home is back here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always come back home and stay here. So for me, I never wanted to purchase a house where I stayed at. I got that 2013 in Oldsmar. First time really living having my own house. So it's like, oh man, when I first got home, that same situation. When I got home, the house was already done. I had all my furniture in there. My mom, my girlfriend at the time, who my wife is now, they got it done for me. So when I came home, I'm ready to go in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was another experience. Like, oh man, I got my own house now. I don't know how to act.
For sure. How was that too? So we talked about kind of like managing that and stuff too, because I know as far as like the first athlete that I ever represented, a big thing about working with you guys is a lot different than working with the typical client. One is demanding schedule. A lot of times we don't get to work right with you because you're in season. You're traveling, you're playing. There's that. And then just respecting that privacy and confidentiality. And like the first woman WNBA player I represented. So I'm showing her home, and the buyers that came in, they were more interested in whose house this was rather than, you know, this is the home that they can actually purchase for themselves. So it's being able to be professional and represent that at the same time. So how did you go about doing that and getting the right people in place to handle that?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said, like, all my homes, like the house I have, all the homes I ever bought, I never seen them before I bought them in person. I always had my wife, my mom, my sisters, my mother-in-law, all of them look at the houses before we buy them. So the one I sold in Oldsmar that I moved out of, they kind of already knew who house was it because I was working with an agent. And some kind of way they found out who house was, so it was kind of easier to sell it then when they found out that. But I know what you're saying. Well, different people handle stuff different, but for me, my situation I always kept it in-house. It was easier.
Yeah. So cool. So you got your mom's place, you got your place, you're still playing. Was there a point where you started ever looking at real estate as an investment or getting investment properties, and where did you get that knowledge from? Was it your teammates around? Was it different people within your network that you were able to start leveraging that as a next play for you outside of just basketball?
Like I always say, like the NBA got a good player foundation, players union. So you learn about all that kind of stuff. You learn about real estate. You learn about all this kind of shit. A lot of different investment kind of opportunities. So for me, I wasn't really into it when I was younger, a younger player in the league, but I kind of got to it. Shit, when you started, you know what I mean? You went to school and I see you started doing it. So I was like, oh man, DJ doing it. Let me really try to get into it. So my wife always wanted to do it, but I ain't really had the knowledge to it. And then until I started seeing you doing it and all that kind of stuff, it kind of made me realize like I could really do that. I could really try to do it. So that's why I started doing a little purchases stuff, a little small stuff, like purchasing land in Tulum and all that kind of stuff. Invest in my house and not selling my house, being able to use that for my bank, all that kind of stuff. I'm still learning, and it's just gonna keep going, getting better and better when I learn it. So.
And that's a process, because it's like we talked about the other week, that it's so true. Is a lot of times when we're not coming, especially as players from affluent background or community, and then now you walk in, your whole life changes. So now you have the financial capability possibly, but now you also have the access, and that's things that we don't talk about, is the network and the access to these opportunities and things that are going around us as soon as when we're young, but we never really realize it until we get in those situations and our mind starts to shift. So how has that been able to play a role for you, especially now that you're starting to transition, to leverage that network that you created to have opportunity? I know you mentioned Tulum. That's an opportunity that it's there, but a lot of people don't have the access to, even if they have the financial ability to do so.
So I just think when you're younger, like you said, in basketball, professional football, whatever, you're younger, you don't really think about what I need to do for the future, what I need to do. I mean, for my family, you see what I'm saying? You kind of thinking like, oh, I'm gonna play this game forever. So a lot of people don't really start thinking about it until it's too late. So for me, I had a head start with just learning, having good people around, just learning from just communications, you see what I'm saying? So for me, it's kind of like, I just wake up, like I said, I text you all the kind of different information and try to see what's going on and keep learning, keep reading. That's all it's about, keep reading. So like I say, my first 5 years in the league, I didn't think about nothing but basketball. After the next 5 years after that, that's when I started thinking, oh man, this could be over any time. So I'm gonna start thinking, I'm gonna start seeing what I could do. And real estate has always been a good one for me because the guys around me is doing it. So why not get into it? You see what I'm saying?
That was gonna be my next question, is when did it click for you? Because I know for me, it was my freshman year. We just got kicked out of the tournament. We're on our way back home, and the seniors are on the bus. And they're looking like, my life's about to change. I don't know what's next, you know? Like if it's not gonna be basketball, what am I gonna walk into? So when did that moment click for you where you started to say, listen, like I need to start preparing for myself whenever the ball dies out?
I say, I ain't gonna, like fully, I say my 10th year when I was with Orlando, I was closer to home. So I was able to really think about it. I just had bought this new house over here. So it's like, oh man, I could really start thinking about some other stuff. And my wife kept telling me, let's get into real estate. Let's try to flip some houses. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. But I still was kind of like fighting it, because I'm like, man, I don't really know it. And being a professional, being a college athlete also, you don't really want to do nothing if you don't really know you could really do it good. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I'm kind of like, you got a business plan for it? Let's see what the goals would be for it. You see what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
For me, I'd probably say when I got to Orlando, when I was able to be closer to home a lot, and just be around people I haven't been around like in years, because I always was gone. So I just say probably Orlando.
Having somebody you trust, because I know for me too, that was what kept me from getting started for so long, because I felt like I didn't have all the knowledge. So being able to jump into something with all the little bit of money that I was able to save up playing ball in college. So for me, I've always looked at it as like a team. So just like basketball, as a point guard, I don't need to go out and score 30 every time. I just need to be able to bring what I bring to the table and then find the right people around me to put them in place to be successful. So if I know that this guy can go for 30 every night, I'm gonna have him in my corner here. I'm gonna have this guy to get my rebound. So it's the same thing in real estate, you know. If I can bring the financial capabilities, who's gonna help me find these homes? Now they're gonna help me find them. Now it's connected with the lender and things like that. So that's how I've always looked at real estate on the retail side and the investing side is building that right team around you of people that you trust.
Right. That's what a lot of people, like, they always say, like, successful people who do different kind of business always try to put it in, if they came from sports, they try to put it in sports aspect.
Exactly.
Like you just said, like, you the point guard, this guy, like, that's what it's about. So that's what I've been learning too also. Like, you gotta be able to, the game will never go away if you put it into your investments and what the stuff you do. So that's big time, man.
That's one thing you do really well too. I've noticed just kind of from watching from afar, you're very curious.
Yeah,
so you're always asking whether it's real estate or whatever. Whenever we're even in the gym, I see you always asking questions, and I think that's huge. Where did you was there another teammate or coach at some point in your life that really had an impact on you as far as, life after sports and being able to be prepared for that?
Yeah, I say a couple. There's always been guys like Roy Ivy. Roy Ivy played with me in Philly, one of my big homies. Always been cool. I could reach out to him now and talk to him. He always is talking about different kind of stuff. Now he's coaching right now. He's coaching for the Nets. He just got a new gig. So Daniel Marshall, Elton Brand, those kind of guys when I was young. Reggie Evans is one of my close friends right now still. He helped me a lot with all that kind of stuff. So we always talk. And then, like, when I go to, like, just think about it. I went to Golden State. I learned from a lot of stuff. Iguodala is really smart. One of the smartest people.
I need to get his book. I've been following a lot of his podcasts.
I got it. You could probably, I'll let you read it. He's really smart with that kind of stuff. Even a lot of people like Draymond. Draymond know a lot about business stuff, so he's really good. And especially like Steph and Clayton, just to be around them guys and hear him talk about Silicon Valley and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like, you don't have no other kind of reason not to listen. Thinking about Sean Livingston, one of my close friends, he always about that. Just always thinking about the future and what can you do after basketball. And they are successful. So I learned a lot, man. I know I probably missed out on a lot of people, but shit, play basketball for so long I did, man. You're gonna forget about it.
Yeah,
people,
for sure. For sure.